Yo, 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 yo. What it do? What it be, y'all? It's your boy Agent A&T, repping the Spell Block Agency, coming to you with a MK11 commentary. And I started covering this a while back, so here it is, part 2 on how the Tupac and Biggie beef kind of started and escalated and all that, kind of like the unbiased facts. And I started covering how it all started at Quad Studios in the video before this, and I'll leave a link to the description if you're interested in seeing that. But after Tupac was robbed at Quad Studios and sent to jail on rape charges, Pac felt betrayed by Biggie because no one from BadBoy showed their support for Pac while he was in jail, and nobody visited him. Plus, Diddy, Biggie, and BadBoy were real friendly with the people who had Pac set up. That and Biggie releasing Who Shot You and just the timing of the record didn't really sit well with Pac. And looking back on it, like, yo, Biggie really dissed him, bro. He really did. And in the Long Kiss Goodnight, he dissed him, bro. Diddy was talking about Pac and them, bro. Like, it's not even... You could dispute it, you could debate it, but I mean, who else would they be talking to, bro? Think of it, like, they could really be talking to anybody and it could just be rap, but nah, bro. They was really, I don't know. In my opinion, they was really talking about Pac and low-key, on the low-key dissing Pac, but I'll get to that, more on that in a minute. But, Suge Knight, the leader of a new record label being brought up in the 90s called Deathrow. Y'all might have heard of it, you know. He had a prior beef with Diddy before this whole thing, before the whole Quad Studios even happened. An incident completely separate to that, because Diddy's bodyguard had killed a close friend of Suge's. Plus, Diddy was well connected to the A-Team. And he had, you know, some powerful Crip allies in California. And with Pac having beef with the A-Team and BadBoy and Suge having beef with California Crips and BadBoy, well, Diddy specifically, but, you know, BadBoy, but Suge and Pac decided to link up and pretty much go on a musical warpath against BadBoy and the A-Team, all while fueling the gang war in California. And while all that was happening, Pac is getting out of jail. Pac is getting released from jail, and he's surrounded by all this controversy, and the media is painting it out to be this East Coast, West Coast rap war, which, for a time, East and West Coast artists did trade shots at each other. Even before the whole Biggie, Pac, Suge, Diddy situation, even before all that, like in the early 90s, you had the West Coast rap style gain significant popularity and even kind of challenged the East Coast popularity and influence in the rap game. And yeah, Southern rap was gaining traction and popularity at the same time, but that was more of an underground scene. And a lot of the Southern artists were even wearing button-downs and dickies because that's how popular and influential California style was at the time. And while the South was thriving underground, the West Coast, with G-Funk and gangsta rap and all that, that was arguably having more success than the gritty NY lyricism, at least at the mainstream level. And even on the underground level, you know, they were doing shit like Banging on Wax, which is pretty much like the first like gang record, period, point blank. So I don't even think it's dissing any like set. I think it's really just a gang doing a record, like literally gang banging on wax, like literally. But you know, with the emergence of NWA, Compton's Most Wanted, Drew Down, E40, Mac Dre, Loonies, Too Short, and, you know, I could keep going with all the West Coast pioneers that started in the late 80s and early 90s. And even in with Southern hip hop, the West Coast or the East Coast artists felt that the West Coast rap was stealing the spotlight from the mecca of hip hop without really paying homage. Specifically, Tim Dog, who released the diss track "Fuck Compton" in 1991, which prompted Dr. Dre and Snoop to mention him on The Chronic, and Compton's Most Wanted dissed him on the track "Who's Fucking Who." And in 1994, the Dog Pound released New York, New York, which prompted Capone and Noriega to collab with Mobb Deep and Tragedy Gaddafi on the response called LA LA. And that track actually caused more beef in New York than it did between, East and West. But for the most part, there were only musical shots traded back and forth. Although, allegedly Dog Pound did get shot while trying to film NY in New York. But, I mean, think about it. They're two different coasts. I mean, you really waging war halfway across the East Coast while simultaneously trying to build your brand and get money? No, you're not. You're not. You're just trying to get money. You're trying to have your brand respected, because obviously, in the rap game, someone's talking trash and you don't defend yourself, or sometimes if you ignore it, if you're big enough, that's acceptable. But if you're a nobody, or y'all two are just starting out and y'all you get called out by another upcoming artist, gotta defend yourself, bro. Hip hop is a sport, in its purest form. It's who's better than who, who can. It's a competition. Who got better bars? Who can sell more? It's always been a competition. Whereas it's not really like that in other genres. Country music artists don't compete with each other. Rock stars don't compete with each other. But rap and hip hop, it's competitive. Always has been. That's the purest form of hip hop. But anyways, like I said, there were no serious shots traded back and forth, just musical ones. Although allegedly Dog Pound did get shot trying to make New York, New York, and New York, like I said. But there was serious altercations at award shows like the Source Awards and shit like that, but nothing, nobody got beat up, nobody got shot, nobody, until Pac and Biggie, until their death, nobody was getting killed. At least not a mainstream rap artist. Yeah, sure, you had guys, that were Bloods and Crips that, they were going to war out there, really. And Suge was connected to them, like I said. But as far as the music, it was all strictly music. And I was even reading an article that even said the Source Awards, the 94, and Tupac and Biggie's death changed hip-hop forever. That's why we're sitting here talking about it today. That's how important it is to the culture. But there was even allegedly a challenge issued by Tupac to fight Diddy in a boxing match for money, kind of like they do now, let's fight it out for pay-per-view, put the guns down, type shit. That's way before their time. Or, he would even say, I'll line up Deathrow against BadBoy, Suge fight Biggie, I'll fight Diddy, Junior Mafia, Dog Pound, all that. That would have, Jesus, if that really would have went down, can y'all imagine? Oh, man, that would have been... that would have been bigger than like a De La Hoya fight. I'm Mexican, so De La Hoya fight if you're Mexican, or like especially in the 90s, or if you're African American, black, whatever. Tyson, Ali, that would be the that pay-per-view, except that instead of one main event, that's like all the main events. You having mainstream artists like the equivalent, because I don't know if they was selling platinum records like that, because they wasn't getting streams, but it's the equivalent of like literally Drake and Meek Mill, or like MMG, or what is Pusha T on? Good Music. It's like Good Music lining up with whatever Drake's label is, or, you know, Lil Wayne's label and all that. What is it? Young Money versus Good Music. That would be lit. Pay-per-view boxing match, Pusha T versus Drake main event. Weezy F and Ross co-main event, whatever. That'd be crazy. Maybe not Weezy on Ross, because that's mismatch. But maybe, who would it be? Maybe Weezy on Wale? And Birdman on Ross? I don't know. Birdman kind of tall. Is he? Man, I'm tweaking. Anyways, let me... But, yeah, that would have been crazy. Deathrow versus BadBoy boxing pay-per-view. Crazy. But, and that's the thing. As far as Pac was concerned, he could give a fuck about the East Coast. And maybe even the West Coast. He wanted to publicly embarrass and humiliate BadBoy at all costs. Biggie and Diddy specifically. But BadBoy, you know, I was their empire. So if he could bring that down, fuck him. Everybody else was just collateral damage. Nas, Jay, Chino XL, fuck you too. But the reason why Pac dissed others was purely based on the fact that nothing was hotter than BadBoy at the time in New York. Sure, Wu-Tang, who they mainly stayed out of the ruckus of the war, but they was dropping classic albums. Enter the Wu-Tang, you know, all that. Mobb Deep dropped a classic album. Big Pun dropped a classic album. Nas dropped Illmatic. Jay was getting started with the Rock Dynasty during all this time. Black Star and Gang Starr were dropping gems. All that. But Biggie, Diddy, Lil Kim, and Junior Mafia were the hottest thing going in New York. Think about that. All that classic music. And even in the Source Awards, 94, Nas dropped Illmatic that year, didn't even win an award. They gave the award to Craig Mack, Flavor in Your Ear over New York State of Mind. Can you believe that, y'all? Fucking award shows were bogus back then too, when you look back at it. But real shit. That's the thing, is they picked the radio friendly jams instead of the artists who were really out here dropping gem records, hit records. Flavor in Here is cold, bro, but I'm sorry, New York State of Mind, that shit goes crazy. I remember, like, yo, I wasn't even big into New York. Like, my best friend from New York, so I was just getting introduced to, like, Mobb Deep in middle school. I remember hearing New York State of Mind for the first time on Saints Row 2. And I was just like, yo, what? This shit is crazy. I had to know who, yeah, and that's how I became a Nas fan and found out who AZ was and all that. And that was another, I found out who, like, AZ was and all that through another YouTuber who don't even, he was a vlogger on YouTube who don't even be around no more. But shout out to XL Nowhere Man LX. Bro was putting me onto some real music before I really knew now. He was mostly into some East Coast shit. That's how I got some of my taste. But again, my best friend was from New York. He's put me on to Capone and Nori and Mobb Deep and Pun and all them. So I mean, it's not like I don't, you know, it's not like I wasn't fucking with New York. But like I said, you know, BadBoy was the hottest thing going right then and there, as far as everything, their movement, Lil Kim, Junior Mafia, all that, their marketing, promotion, advertising, everything was on point. And, you know, like I said, a lot of New York artists felt that if Pac and company were going to embarrass Biggie, that would make New York look weak, because Biggie was undisputed king. You know, BadBoy was the undisputed king at the time. So some guys actually did diss Pac on the low, like Jay-Z. You know, Chino XL, you know, nobody really heard of him, but he dissed Pac. And I'm sure others did too, but Jay for sure has come forward and said that he got an unreleased Pac diss. And as far as there being an all-out war, there never really was one. It was just a lot of media stirring the pot and trying to create problems that weren't really there. And after the front page news that Tupac allegedly fucked Faith Evans while she was married to Biggie, that kind of set in motion the events that led up to Pac and Biggie's death. And I'm not saying the media is responsible for their murders, but they fueled the fire instead of trying to have peace summits and, you know, talk shit out. And those peace summits and that shit didn't happen until both were dead. But I'll get to that in the third and final episode of the Biggie and Pac saga. I hope y'all enjoyed the primo info in this video. If you did, leave a like, drop a comment. You know, drop a comment on some of the info I may have missed, or something I may have gotten wrong, or maybe something, you know, you didn't know that you learned or something. I don't know. I'm always down to get better, and even, you know, trade info, and, you know, just grow as a person and as a channel. So so sub and ring the damn bell so you don't miss none of the hot content I got dropping, or follow me on Twitter so you don't miss none of my videos or streams at ANT_303. It's been your boy Agent ANT, repping the spell block agency. Be safe out there, y'all. Don't get smoked. I'm out. Enjoy the rest of the video. Peace. Okay, well, at least I know this is your main.
Round one, fight.
Oh. Oh, what the fuck? Oh. What the fuck is this? Thank you. Jesus Christ, that's insane. That was allowed to go on for so long.
Round two.
You almost had me there. We was even for about a split second. Oh, nice roll. Roll down.